Barbie loved the gentle hush of evening, when the streets grew quiet and the stars leaned close as if listening. Her seaside window faced the harbor, where boats rocked like drowsy ducks and the lighthouse glowed with a steady silver flame. Everyone in town called it the Lullaby Lantern, because its light was more than brightness. It soothed the whole harbor, reminding every pillow, cradle, and window, it's safe now. Rest. Barbie often lingered at her desk during these twilight hours, writing down 3 good moments from her day, a small ritual she treasured. Tonight, Taffy, her golden puppy, was curled at her feet, sighing dreamily. Barbie smiled, set her pen down, and leaned toward the window just as something unusual happened. The lighthouse flickered once, twice, then went dark. The harbor stilled. Even the waves seemed startled into silence. Barbie gasped. Oh, no. That's never happened before. She pulled on her pink raincoat and her soft sneakers, tucked a lavender sprig into her pocket, and scribbled a note for her sisters, went to check on the lighthouse. Back soon. Don't worry. Save me a corner of the quilt. Taffy, sensing adventure, jumped up at once, tail thumping. All right, Barbie whispered with a smile. You're coming too. At the base of the stone steps that wound up the lighthouse hill, Barbie found Ken already there. He carried a lantern and his trusty little toolbox. The lights out? He asked, brow furrowed. Barbie nodded. I've never seen it dark before. Then let's go find out what happened. Together, with Taffy trotting at their heels, they climbed. The night was crisp and smelled of salt and lemons from the bakery's late-night cleaning. Stars glittered overhead, but without the lighthouse beam the harbor looked oddly vulnerable, as though the sky itself had forgotten a word. At the top, they reached the keeper's cottage. Mira, the lighthouse keeper, opened the door, her candle trembling in her hand. I can't wake the lantern, she said before they spoke. It isn't broken, it's quiet, as if its song has slipped away. They followed her up the spiral staircase into the great lantern chamber. Normally, the crystal globe shimmered and hummed a soft note you felt in your bones. Tonight, it stood still, silent as glass. Barbie placed her hand against it. Hello, she whispered gently. Far off, across the horizon, a thin streak of light fell into the sea. Myra's eyes widened. A fallen star, she murmured. Ken looked toward the beach. If the lantern's lullaby has gone missing, maybe the star carried it away. Then let's find her, Barbie said, heart glowing with determination. The tide was low, revealing shining pools. Behind a cluster of rocks, something shimmered faintly. Barbie knelt. Hello, she said again, because hello is always the best beginning. From the water rose a tiny star, no larger than a saucer. Her glow flickered weakly, her eyes 2 specks of tired light. My name is Lumi, she whispered, her voice more warmth than sound. I fell through a tear in the hush, and I lost my lullaby on the way down. Barbie's heart softened. Then we'll help you find it. The lantern needs you, and so does the town. Taffy nosed gently at the little star, receiving a faint spark on her forehead. She sneezed with delight and wagged her tail. Where do lullabies hide when they're lost? Ken asked. In soft places, Lumi said faintly. Places that keep quiet safe. Barbie cupped her hands. Ride with me. We'll search together. Searching for the notes, they set off through the sleeping town, lanterns bobbing. As they walked, Barbie began a list aloud. Soft places, pillows. Libraries. Gardens at night. Clouds, Lumi added. Teacups, Taffy barked, which they all kindly interpreted as kitchens. The library was closed, but Barbie had a key because she hosted Saturday craft hour. Inside, Tortoise Pip, the night librarian, looked up from his desk. "Lost a lullaby, have you?" he said kindly. "They like to nap between pages." He led them to the children's section. "Lie on the rug and breathe together. Sometimes the floor remembers a tune." They stretched out side by side. Barbie placed Lumi near her heart. Together they inhaled slowly, then exhaled. The room hushed. From the rug rose a single note, blue, round, and gentle as a marble. Lumi drew it in, and her glow brightened. "One note," Pip said. "You'll need more." They followed the cloud stair, which appeared only if you weren't rushing. It led them to the moon gardener's hidden plot, where flowers opened only at night. "Speak kindness," the gardener said. "My blooms open to gentle words." Ken whispered, "Thank you, Lumi, for lighting the nights even when no one notices." Barbie added softly, "It's all right to be tired. You're still precious." The blossoms unfurled, releasing a golden note like a lantern glowing on a porch. Lumi absorbed it, her trembling edges steadying. Down at the cove, the tea kettle whale surfaced, humming like water ready for tea. "You seek a lullaby? You'll need the steam note," he said, and he blew out a curl of silver sound shaped like a question mark. It shimmered into Lumi, who gave a small, relieved smile. "3 notes," Barbie said. "We're close." Mira brought them to a wide, quiet meadow. "Here," she explained, "the ground sings if you walk slow enough." They stepped carefully, heel by heel. The earth hummed a warm tone, deep as bread fresh from the oven. Lumi absorbed it, glowing whole once more. She hovered, strong now, but whispered, "The lullaby is nearly complete. But it still needs a word, the final word that rests at the end." Barbie thought. What word soothed her at night? Not stop. Not quit. Something softer. She closed her eyes, listening to the hush of the meadow, the sea's sh, 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 and Taffy's small sigh. Then she knew. "The word is rest," she whispered. Lumi brightened, as if a key had turned. "Yes. That's the bench word." Back at the lighthouse, they climbed the spiral once more. Barbie placed Lumi gently in the lantern's cradle. The 4 notes swirled around her, blue from the library, gold from the garden, silver from the whale, and warm from the meadow. Lumi breathed, and her glow filled the globe. Then, with the softest strength, she spoke the final word, rest. The lantern bloomed. Its light poured out over the harbor in slow waves, touching every house, every pillow, every cradle. The bakery's counters, the librarian's shell, the whale's steaming spout, all softened into calm. Even the restless gull folded her wings and slept. Barbie felt her shoulders unclench. Mira laughed with relief. Ken squeezed Barbie's hand. Taffy sighed the long sigh of a pup who knows the world is safe. "Thank you," Lumi said. "I'll go back to the sky now. But whenever you need quiet, I'll listen." She rose slowly, slipped out the open window, and climbed higher and higher until she was just another star among stars. The town glowed with the lantern's steady light as Barbie and Ken walked back. Mira waved from the cottage door. "You were exactly what the night needed," she called. At her house, Barbie tucked Taffy into her bed and opened her notebook. She wrote her 3 good moments, Lumi's brave smile. The steam note curled like a silver question. The way rest felt like a key inside her chest. She slipped the moon petal between the pages, climbed under the quilt, and placed one hand on her heart and one on her belly. Breathing slowly, she whispered the word again, rest. The night answered in its quiet way, with a hand smoothing the blanket of the world, and Barbie drifted into dreams, safe in the glow of the lullaby lantern.